remember, we did work distributive property in lesson 2, and I know that we practiced it more the other day, and this just takes practice. It takes practice, practice, practice. So remember, distributive property is when we're going to go through and distribute whatever's on the outside of the parenthesis to whatever's inside. And make sure that you distribute this to both items inside of the parenthesis. Okay, you can't forget to do that. Okay, so when I look at the first part of this, we have negative 2 times x. Well, that's going to give us negative 2x. Now, this is where it's tricky, because sometimes kids just want to do the negative 2 times 5. But here's the thing. We had another negative in there. And I know there it's x minus 5, but when you're doing this distribution, if there's a negative sign there, and there's a negative on the number on the outside, you have to combine those. So it's really negative 2 times negative 5. 2 negatives make a positive, so it becomes positive 10 or plus 10 equals, okay, if you don't like fractions, unless I'm specifically going through and checking to see if you know how to work fractions, you can change these to decimals. If you don't like to look at it this way, you can think of this as 0.5 x minus 0.5x, if that's what you would prefer. Okay, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to distribute. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times a half, or 0.5 if you're using your calculator. I oftentimes think of what is half of 6. When they're nice simple fractions like that, that's 3. So there was a negative sign there. This was a positive, so it ends up being a minus, so a negative 3x. So now we're back to what we've just been working on for those first 2 slides. And we're going to go through and combine like terms. So the step that we just added was that distribution, which we did work distribution last section, so that's not brand new. But now I'm introducing it where we now have, here's our equal sign, and now we've got x's on both sides. Okay, so if we go through and we work our way through these, I like to work x's on the left side, so I'm going to get rid of this one. So plus 3x, it's the opposite. Remember, if you shift it with the x, you just do the opposite of the number. So plus 3x. So now I get negative 2 plus 3 is 1x plus 10 equals 12. And I know some of you will start seeing some shortcuts. Do I really have to rewrite the whole problem? No, but lots of times what happens is kids forget which way they moved their numbers, and they end up with both their variable number and their constant number on one side of the equal sign. So that's why I choose, as I'm teaching this, until you get comfortable, to do it step by step and not take a shortcut. Eventually, once you're comfortable, you'll start to see that really, oh, there is a shortcut here. I could write this here, cross it off, and write this here. But the problem with that is kids cross off the wrong side and then end up with the number, the constant number, and the variable number on the same side. Okay, so I'm just going to work it off of this down here. So minus 10. And doing it this way helps me to see which one I need to move. The more comfortable you get, you'll be able to go ahead and do that little shortcut that I was just showing you. So minus 10. But you have to get comfortable first. 1x equals 12 minus 10 is 2. So x equals 2, or 2 divided by 1 is 2. Okay, so let's try another one. So we're just adding a piece, and really it's not a brand new piece. It's something that you guys have already worked with, but now they're combining it with giving us variables on both sides. Okay, so this one's easier than the previous one. So we're going to distribute. Don't forget to distribute to the second term that's in there. That's the most common made mistake. Okay, and no, I don't distribute it any further. Here's my equal sign. So I don't have any distribution on the back side. So I've got an equals 2z here. And then 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times z is 6z, and there's one negative, so minus 6z. Okay, so now this is what I'm seeing, you guys. I see I've already got the z's by themselves over here. And I know normally I like to work where the z's are on the left-hand side. But honestly, I don't want to do any more steps than I have to. So I'm going to get rid of this minus 6z. It'll save me a step. So right now, if it's minus 6z, we're going to do plus 6z. It's opposite, right? So plus 6z. Plus I get to work positive numbers this way. So I have 24 left on that side equals 2 plus 6 is 8z. So now to get z by itself, well, right now it's times 8. We'll divide by 8. Divide by 8. 24 divided by 8, z equals 3. Okay, so I just found out that z equals 3 there. Okay, so this is out of your workbook. So your journal book, if you want to flip to, let me check the page number really quick. Page 14 of your journal book, this is question number 3. So you can just fill in, hey, I'm giving you a homework assignment. Key thing is, or answer. You're not just writing in the answer, you're showing me the work. Okay, so we're going to distribute first. So 5 times p is 5p. 5 times 6 is 30. That's a plus, so both of them are plus, so plus 30 equals 8p. Okay, so once again, guys, here's my equal sign. I've already got the p's over here by themselves. I'm not going to shift the 8p to the left side just because that's how I prefer to work with the letters. I'm going to get rid of the 5p. It's fewer steps. So right now it's a positive 5. The opposite is negative 5p or minus 5p. Minus 5p. I have 30 left on this side of the equal sign. Equals 8 minus 5 is 3p. So now we'll divide by 3. Divide by 3. P equals 30 divided by 3, which is 10. Okay, so as you're doing that in your workbook, you need to have those steps down. Do not just write P equals 10 and think that I'm going to accept that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this next one up. And you're going to pause your video and you're going to work through it. And then you're going to check your, not check your work, but check your answer. I'm not going to show the work when I do this. Okay, because I want you to go through and practice it on your own, but yet have the confidence once you check your answer. So go ahead, pause your video, and work through number 4 out of your workbook. Okay, key thing on these, anytime I do problems and they're part of your homework, I'm not just checking your answer, guys. I will be checking through your work. So if you're not pausing your videos and actually going through and practicing the concepts, the steps that are being taught, it's going to show up. So make sure that you're going through. And if you're not understanding, well, I didn't get 41. I don't know where I messed up. See me. I'll look through your work. I'll try and figure out maybe where we made a mistake. It could be a simple mistake. It could be that you totally forgot maybe to distribute on one side. But I'll be glad to go through your work and look through it. It's also nice because you have a lot of classmates that would be willing